Everyone with the the compliments I appreciate. Took a day off work, you're well rested, I love that. Calm and grounded, drained. Okay. Better now after cleaning and a shower, that's what's up. Energy is back today. You all are in a much better place than me, apparently. Feeling good. I have work. Kids, thank you for the compliment, Rachel. It's just all love. Thank you, everyone. Heavy vibes in the crown chakra. Thank you, Lucio. Yes. Noticing the change in background. I really felt, as I was like doing a private reading for myself earlier, that I needed to shift a change in energy / environment for this reading, especially because we're really just going to focus on the Scorpio moon. And actually I didn't have time to look at the transits. I should have been doing that instead of my makeup. I don't know what the aspects to the moon are actually. Feeling a bit lost but calmer than during the last few weeks. I'm glad to hear that, about feeling calmer, that is. I feel like I'm already feeling the intensity of this Scorpio moon. Oof. It's been a lot. Highly charged day for me. I did hunt for a new house plant to help me with those emotions, and I didn't actually find one. The plants, you know, I guess pandemic, caring for indoor plants isn't priorities for most of these businesses, so they were in really poor condition, and not that I could like nurture back to health. Or maybe I was supposed to. Maybe I wasn't supposed to look at their aesthetic condition as much as I did, but I didn't quite get my plant fixed today. But what was helpful was talking through some stuff with my friend. She said something which I thought was very resonant when we were talking about timelines and just kind of what this moon can mean or is representing, especially also because the nodes are changing. North and South node are shifting into Gemini and Sagittarius as of tomorrow, I believe. And she was, you know, saying the messages that I shared around the new moon in Taurus, around kind of becoming aware of decisions that we need to make, choices, timelines changing. It's almost like this full moon is the time now for the action, or that bringing whatever that is to consciousness or to fruition. I'm going to shuffle a couple more decks, potentially. I thought I brought an animal deck. Oh, I did. It's here. I've shuffled it already. Having weird dreams and disturbed sleep. Is it moon related? Yes. I thought every full moon, every new moon, my dreams get really turned up, really. So definitely keep dream journals, keep track of that, keep track of your dreams anyway, but also see if the energy is different for new moon versus full moon. Aquarius feeling good, surfing the waves and highly charged is certainly the right thing. I feel like I'm learning how to process stuff every day. I think that is kind of the mastery of this moment, actually. I had a terrible night's sleep. That's common as we start approaching the moon, either full or new. Yes, my moon sign is Scorpio and sun sign is Taurus. I hope this week is a positive one. Okay. Let's do a prayer and start. I am not going to do our normal sections. I will not be here for an hour and a half today either. Honestly, I didn't want to do today's reading, but I got the discipline message twice today, so I was like, okay, it is a show up kind of day, but for me it's also show up but do things differently or make the adjustments you need in order to be present in the capacity that I can be. So we will have a shorter session, and like I said, I just really just want to focus on we'll see. Spirit might want to do other things, but my intention is to pull on the energy of the moon, or just see what's happening as we approach it and what's coming through. So let's just say a prayer and get started. Thank you. I'm actually okay. That might sound like I'm not okay. I'm absolutely fine. But I'm just also human, and sometimes I don't want to do stuff. So, you know, I have my emotions and, you know, my moods. I just don't want to. Okay. Deep breaths, everybody. I have no back support right now as well, so that is also going to be a good timing factor to let me know when I'm absolutely done. Divine Spirit, thank you so much for this sacred moment, for the opportunity for us to come together. Thank you even for the change in environment and for the graciousness to the person that is allowing me to be in this space. I ask right now that you would empty me so that I could be refilled with your intention for this moment. You know exactly who's in the room, what they're needing, what this week is going to unfold for them and beyond. I ask that, and I also invite you all to set your intention that you receive what you need. I call on the archangels to be at the four corners of this space to hold the vibration of this reading, so that the messages that come through are resonant, are high vibrational, are aligned with a love-based perspective, are shared with the highest good of all intended, are a reflection of the wisdom of our honorable ancestors. May it bring through healing. May it support the work needed for the solar plexus chakra, as we picked up on last week. May it also be a sword that cuts through with truth. May it bring peace after cutting. May it also be a space of growth, replenishment, and abundance for all involved. Ashe. Okay, so while I'm saying that, I want to say thank you to those of you who sent me love offerings and donations last week. I super appreciate it, of course. Oh, I haven't typed what we're doing. If you would like to, let me just quickly type tarot therapy. Then donations are gratefully received with no obligation for you to do so. The link to do that would be in my bio if you're following me on Instagram, and in the link description if you're watching this playback on YouTube. Okay, so like I said, I just want to see what's happening in terms of this gateway or choice point culmination energy that we have with this Scorpio moon. 2 cards have already come out. Let's see what they are. Oh, okay. So take time to breathe out. Disseminating moon is the first card here. Very beautiful, actually. And then we have don't let your past hold you back, South Node, using the Moonology deck here. And I like this also because of the mention of the nodal transit, the shift that we're going to have 5th of May. I marked it in my diary because I was like, I cannot wait for the South Node to exit my 7th house. So we do have these transit changes. Okay, North Node moving into Gemini, South Node into Sagittarius. So where those signs are in your personal birth chart will also point to where you might feel some of the focus of that energy. But for me personally speaking, the North Node, South Node energy is bigger than just the house that it's contained within. It is a kind of bigger growth experience across your whole life, let's say. So in terms of not letting our past hold us back, I feel like the full moon in Scorpio, in conjunction with normal Scorpio themes, is a death cycle, of course, and a activation or transformation process in which we get to shed, let's pull some cards on that, shed aspects Look at that Taurus energy. Um, Shared, I don't want to even say aspects of ourselves. It might not even be yourself. It could be environments or circumstances, but there's definitely a shedding process or a release or let go, pushing away, whatever it is. It can even be a fight or a battle, but there is a change is a better word that requires, it feels like some wrestling from us in order to decide how we come through that. What about the past should we be? Wow. I said, what about the past? And we've got Two of Cups and the Lovers. Wow, wow, wow. That's seriously emphasized message here. I feel like, to be honest, as well as we move through this energy, and I keep saying it every week, these themes of love and partnership and connection and family that spirit just keeps funneling me into in terms of the messages that I am here to explore with you. That energy is building and building and building. And I think it's going to become kind of a major focal point for me and the work we do. But in terms of not letting our past hold us back, there is a lot here in this energy about the love relationships that we've had, particularly it feels in this card, sexual connections or the way that we experience our bodies in a physical way here. You can see actually at the bottom of this card, there's actually menstrual blood down here. So it feels like a revision or reckoning with the physical self, right? The body, the inhabited vessel, and particularly how we express that in terms of sexuality or sensuality or primal power. Whatever ideas or scripts you've been living from, be that coming from your family or religion or whatever else, it feels like a need to break free of that and to come into more alignment with what the body wants and needs in and of itself. I'm so tempted to share a personal story right now, but I won't do it. I'm going to self-edit. But it is about, I feel like it's also this energy of coming to grips. You said you're really hormonal. Coming to grips with what our real tastes and desires are sexually, as a way of playing with or getting comfortable with asking for what we want. It also feels like, I said I'm going to do the community class this month actually on kind of manifestation for people who have to deal with reality. And so it feels like beginning to understand that manifestation energy on a different level by playing with pleasure and desire and censoring ourselves or removing some of the scripts, right? Removing some of the boundaries. Even if we eventually put them back, it's about almost transgression or pushing a boundary or allowing ourselves more than we have, in order to feel and see what it's like to go beyond what currently exists in our conception of self, if that makes sense. So lots of sexual exploration, whether that's solo or with a partner. This also feels like sexual healing. I wasn't really expecting I wasn't expecting this out of today's reading, but let's follow. Yeah, we've got the star card here, which of course is healing, and depicted on this star card is the Orisha Oshun. So particularly healing of the feminine energy, or healing for those in female bodies specifically, where there's been a lot of sexual transgression in this life or within another. It also feels like reclaiming the lighter, more playful energy through beautification or through the aesthetic, here with this Oshun energy or archetype, let's say. I don't want to offend initiates by speaking on energy. So I feel, even in the way that I say that, for this I get beautiful for you, okay, I like to enjoy the energy of presenting myself in a certain way. That's all part of it. You know, that's all part of it, is allowing ourselves to toy and play with beauty. That's even more challenging actually and difficult in this time where a lot of people are disconnected from their ordinary beauty practices. Okay, maybe you can't get waxed, or you can't get your nails done, or you can't get your hair done, or you know, you can't go to the barbers, or whatever it is that makes you feel aesthetically well presented. Is also about breaking with that script, you know, and playing with other parts of yourself. You know, I've tweeted and I've said this before, like spending time, for example, not dyeing my hair blonde, and you know, doing the other spectrum of, you know, my natural beauty, or thinking about what that is, and like I said, pushing boundaries and putting them back, you know, playing there and then feeling like, okay, I've experienced that, I've uncovered parts of myself, have become comfortable here, now I feel, you know, it's okay, or I feel good about returning to a particular aesthetic or whatever else. But this is more specific than I need to be. World of Sensitive Self-Knowledge is also leaving your seventh, sis. Honestly, I can't wait. Okay, so beautification, it does feel physical, it does feel literal aesthetic. Finding wow, I'm just pulling a little bit more on that. Really enjoying body massage, perfect. Okay, connecting with the body, physicality, sensuality, even touch. We have separation energy in the Seven of Swords and the Strength in the Hermit card here. So it feels like yeah, we're cutting ties with an old system of what we think is beautiful. Maybe broadening the sense of what beauty can be, including aesthetic beauty, so it feels like not necessarily imposing an ideal or a goal onto yourself. But there's a song I really love by Jasmine Sullivan called Masterpiece. I will not sing it because she's too exceptional of a singer for me to even imitate. But she says, every part of me is a masterpiece, a work of art. And it is that kind of energy. Is just, maybe drink water as it might sound, it is about breaking the old traditions of aesthetic beauty to find what is quote organic. I wouldn't say natural, but what is feels organic, right? What feels true to you in the ways that you show up in the world, as a kind of new form of strength here. And this is a solo journey which will transform our sense of worthiness to receive love. I'm really noticing the waterfall in the background here, right? This overflow of love. And it does seem like, you know, many people feel like if you don't feel highly desirable, or you have body confidence issues, or the rest of it, when you get into a relationship, you know, your partner finds you attractive and then you feel great about yourself, and it really does not work that way. And actually, a lot of those fears and insecurities don't go anywhere and continue to present themselves as barriers to intimacy and as spaces in which we can't fully show up and receive because of fears of unworthiness, etc., etc., etc. And so this waterfall feels like not being able to deeply receive here because of that, you know, the cup not being big enough in terms of how we hide or shield ourselves. So this is about expanding our capacity to experience love from and through ourselves, but it is as a reflection from someone else. Yes, those of you in partnership or in previous partnerships resonating with that. It's not a fix-all. It doesn't make you feel fabulous about yourself. I mean, temporarily, perhaps it's not a long-term adjustment. Okay, so we've got that in terms of the lover's path. It also feels, I mean, there's just more and more and more. It's a deep dive here. With this, maybe because of the Scorpio energy, but with this lover's card, it also feels like soulmate energy in which a person loves and sees you for more than your physicality, right? Like it is that, and it's not like, oh, you might not be beautiful, but I love you. It's not, it's not like that. It's not a rejection of your physical vessel and like, but you're a dope person or a great personality. It's not that. It's like I see that and more. Okay, I see like the fullness of you. I see your other attributes. I see your resilience or your faith, you know, or your compassion, or you know, that it's like the full spectrum of like being truly, truly seen here. Truly seen for both partners. I love it. Gosha says you've started criticizing yourself so much out of nowhere. I feel like also us being indoors, and if you were consuming a lot of social media as well, though for the first couple of weeks of quarantine for me, that was a little challenging in terms of the content I was seeing, which was not my norm in terms of what I would look at. Had my insecurities on 1000. So yeah, like, you know, also making adjustments too to what we consume in terms of how we can view, see, and hold ourselves. All right, let's move forward. So the Two of Cups message here, or Two of Water. All these messages hitting. How am I in your head? I'm glad. Let's see. Some of you are a bit sluggish and a bit hopeless. Really hopeless about partnership here with this Two of Earth, Saturn, and Taurus energy. Okay, just feeling in terms of like what from the past we're needing to not allow us to hold us back as the South Node, you know, makes this shift, this movement. It is feeling this lack of hopelessness, of feeling like you can't have the vision of partnership that you really want. This is a complacency or giving up kind of energy. But it's here. Yeah, look at this. The Six of Earth just kind of flipped over. And this is that kind of the burden of relationship, or the burden of, you've got really Taurus and Capricorn energy here. It's the burden of responsibility in terms of relationships, right? I have to do it. I have to show up. I have to do all the emotional work. I have to compromise as well with the Six here. I'm not really see the fruition, the fulfillment of what I really actually want. And with this full moon, you know, I like to be careful around asking people to do spiritual work, because it's varied and not without risk. So I won't be specific, but with the Nine of Fire and the Dwarves and Gnomes, it feels like using this moon energy, using this transit to ask for support in the physical here. Okay, this is spiritual work, spiritual, you know, prayers, whatever your traditions are that you belong to, whatever ritual work is in alignment with you, calling on that, activating that, you know, making sure that you are choosing to move according to your intuition in terms of what needs to be done in this particular time frame in order to ask for the transformation of what it is that you're struggling with, Saturn energy here, and feeling like it just won't move. Okay, like it's just not changing, what feels stagnant, stuck, rooted. Interestingly, this Taurus energy is the opposite energy to Scorpio. It's the other end of the scale. So we're needing to kind of shift to the other polarity, and I feel like you need to ask for help, really ask for help, so that that change can be felt and seen on the physical, for whatever that is for you. It doesn't just have to be partnership, but this can just be whatever you want to see with this Two of Cups here, whatever you want to see reflected right back at you, whatever you want to be mirrored back at you in your life, in your personal world. Asking for help and support with this full moon.